Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video to the channel. So I'm surprised it took me this long with a lead up to a double XP to do this video, but I'm going to talk through again one of the absolute best bank standing AFK money making methods you can ever set an account up for. Now this is one of the money makers I've set up for 7-day bond, and I believe I'm going to end up doing a huge stint AFK in this method. We're going to be looking at sift soil using the Lunar spellbook. Now to do this, you will need to do the Lunar quests. I would advise, if you're going to go and do the Lunar quest, to also do Dream Mentor as well. Dream Mentor is significantly quicker than Lunar Diplomacy, and while you're over there, it's just so quick to sort of crack out and do off the back of the Lunar Diplomacy quest. Now some items which are going to greatly benefit you with doing this method is the Master Archaeology set. The Great VLs is very good because you can bank stuff direct, but you could also be stood next to a material deposit box. The Elemental Battle Staff is huge and will save you such a huge amount of money, and also the best upgraded version of the soil box which you can get. Now Sift Soil, ever since Archaeology was released, has been an insane moneymaker, and it just doesn't seem to stop. With the use of the Sift Soil spell now as well, it's even better than what it used to be when you were doing it at the Wash Plant. Now the Sift Soil spell is going to require level 91 magic, but you can use things like overloads or extreme magic potions to boost to this level. It's going to cost you 10 water runes and 5 earth runes, which is why the Elemental Battle Staff will save you so much money in the long run, and also cost you 1 astral rune per 1 soil. Now currently the price of an astral rune is going to come in at 857. You can do this method through the Wash Plant in the Archaeology Guild, but you're probably going to make roughly about 30 to 40% less per hour, but you do save the costing of the astral runes because you're going to do it for the Wash Plant rather than the actual spell, although you will need to use porters because of how often you're going to get materials. Now with this as well, the higher your archaeology level is, the better chance you're actually going to gain some materials from doing this method. Now the wiki has a great thing on the money making guide where it goes through all the different soils now and talks through which ones are going to be even more money than others. Now just before we go and pick out some of the soils to go and do, we're going to go and flick over to the wiki now and talk through which ones are best. So, as you can see, the wiki's got the really good tab here now where it's got all the different versions for us to flick through. And again, the items which are recommended, the soil box, the outfit, the mud battle staff, but I really would say the elemental battle staff just for everything is what's really good. And you don't need to do Dream Mentor, it's only Lunar you need to do, but I would really recommend doing Dream Mentor because it's just going to give you access to more spells. But really good thing about the Sift Soil spell as well, in terms of XP per hour, you're going to get 465,000 magic XP an hour, which is crazy, considering this is a skilling spell and a highly profitable magic spell as well, and 100k archaeology XP as well. What you're going to need is roughly 5,000 under gravel you want to do per hour, and then 5,000 astral runes. Now what the wiki does really well is it gives you sort of the profits per each method, but because all of them are together on the same sort of tab, you can just flick through and see which one is best at any given time. Sometimes there are ones which are more profit for absolutely no reason. At the minute, Ancient Gravel seems to be the one which seems to be the most profit, and it never really is the case before. It's a bit weird that the free-to-play one seems to be the most money when it's got access to free-to-play players, bots and all that sort of stuff. But you know, we'll go with it any sort of time as well. So with Ancient Gravel, it's roughly 12.6 mil profit per hour. Fiery Brimstone, which is a pretty solid one. I would say like the Zami and the Bandos ones do seem to be the best ones. Anything which is kind of related to a Tetris Compass set seem to do well because people do focus on Tetris Compass sets for their archaeology. I did it and it worked really well for me. So again, those are the ones to focus on as well. But always keep an eye because for whatever reason, one can spike more than the other. It never really makes sense, although I would say like Volcanic Ash is probably the least profitable consistently. The others seem to do very well and seem to go on rotation as well. Normally you need 1 or 2 materials to be really high in price at a point, and that can make that the most profitable one for a period of time. But again, I'll try and make sure to put this in the description because it's really useful to have hold of, and it's a really good guide which the wiki puts out to sort of benefit you guys and just to give you an idea of what's involved with it as well. But back to the game. So what I like to do, again, you can do it anywhere you want to. It's a really good bank standing skill as well, and really good one for an AFK. Now the soil box is what's important here. The higher tier your soil box, the more soil you can store in it. And basically what it does is for the Sift Soil spell, you can do 100 of each interaction at once. So I can click this, and then for what is technically a minute, I will screen through 100 soil. So it's not hugely AFK, but still, it's a minute of AFK, and you're going through so much soil per hour. If you are looking for some extra resources, this is a good way for you to go and get it as well. So just by unflicking the Grace of the Elves, I'll show you guys what sort of turnout and what kind of money we're making from it as well. You can also get artifacts, which we've just got there. So I'm going to go and do saltwater mud because it's a nice even number. But we can sort of see like how we do in terms of materials and like what the sort of turnout is. Because my archaeology is 120, I expect to get pretty much a material per soil. And as you can see, it don't take you long when you're currently like paying 2.5k per soil to make money with various materials. So here I've only used 25 soils. I've then got 25 materials. Let's say at best I'm paying 3k for saltwater mud. That is 75k worth of soil. And let's say we've just spent 25k in astrals. I need 100,000 coins to break even. If I was to put all the lower end stuff in first, we will do the marble and the third age iron. That's 42k. I'll do the cobalt blue. Star of Sarah, straight away, we are now making profit without putting the more expensive item in. As soon as I put Everlight Silver up, that's 40k for what was essentially 25 seconds. So you can see quite quick like how you're going to make a lot of money quite quick with this method. Now I'm just going to go to the Archaeology Guild just to throw that in. This is a fantastic way to actually use your Premier Artifacts, whether it's with screening at the actual Archaeology Guild or doing Sift Soil. The Premier Artifact is a huge way to save a massive amount of cost. Because you're going to be using so many porter charges per hour, the Premier Artifact is basically going to cut that by half. So even if you do something like Sift Soil for like 1 hour per day and make 12 mil per day for that 1 hour stint, the amount of porters you're going to use is 5,000, which is actually pretty hefty. But if you can cut that to 2.5k per day, you're saving yourself a lot of money in porter charges. And all that is just going to be extra profit for you when you go and make some more money. Now, I've not turned off my porter thing, but again, we can just go and test another info. Now, some materials are less than others, and this info especially has got a lot more of the lower costing materials, so we'll see how we go with this one. Maybe with this one, we'll just make a little bit less. No, roughly made the same. So again, that was another 45k in 25 seconds. So it don't take long for you to rack up a lot of profit, but the Grace of Elves really what makes this method AFK. You can literally just sift soil, and whether you want to stand by the material container and just keep depositing, or just sit by a bank and just do 100 at a time, it is completely up to you. Now, if you're into things like Iron Man, making new accounts, playing 07, this is a great thing for you to do on the side, whether you want to use it to pay your membership, or just make money on the side while you're doing something else as a little project. It's a decent work from home AFK as well. I wouldn't say it's a full work from home AFK, but if you've got a little bit of time where you can pay a little bit of attention, it's a really, really good thing to do. And don't you worry, for those who work from home or want that kind of real solid AFK, we are coming back with some AFK money makers for fair big. It went down so well in Jan that I know you guys look for those kind of videos as well. Now, if you want to use the screener here, you can do, but again, you're going to be using porter charges, use your Premier Artifacts. But if you can do this as well, the XP you're going to get in terms of the Archaeology XP, the Magic XP is going to be crazy. 7-Day Bond is going to do a serious stint at sifting soil, and I can't wait to see the kind of XP rates, the GP we make just from doing that, because the magic level on that account is not great. We'll just make bank. So really looking forward to it, and I think this is a very good method as well on either the double XP. You forget as well, I think it's forgotten by a lot of people as well, that on a double XP, Archaeology doesn't receive double XP. What you essentially get is artifacts twice as quick. Now what this presents with people who are getting all these artifacts is you're getting half the amount of materials per artifact, which means that quite often people need to buy a lot more archaeology materials to basically get the XP from their artifacts. With how archaeology works, the main bulk of your XP comes from these artifacts, so you want to restore them, but due to how you've got them so much quicker, you are short on materials, so you have to actually spend some GP in gathering your own materials or buying your own materials as well, which a lot of people would rather do than gathering them instead. So because we're screening soils, we're getting materials ready, we have a big chance of a big market of people looking to buy archaeology materials, which is why this method sort of spikes around the double XP. Normally I find the materials sell better after a double XP because people have done the amount of archaeology they want, they know how many artifacts they've got, they know how many materials they need to go and buy, and because of that I always find that demand sort of spikes up because of that afterwards. But people can be sort of ahead of the time and also buy materials beforehand as well and balance that out. But overall, screening soil, whether it's with the spell or with the wash plant, is such a good way to make some AFK GP. Do things in a way which will save you profit though. Rather than do it all in one stint, if you did an hour of it a day, use the Premier Artifact, you can save yourself so much money with porter charges. But if you've got a massive amount you want to do, if you want to do the big 50, 100k soil samples, by all means do that. But make sure that you set up for it as well. The higher your archaeology level, the more materials you will get. Make sure to get elemental battle staff as well, because the price of those elemental runes don't half rack up. And the elemental battle staff is forever and will help you with all the other lunar spells, which is going to make you a lot of XP. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, it is so good of a method, and it's worked for me every time. I'm going to start building an account off this now that 7-day bond is able to do it. So you guys will be seeing that in a lot of the 7-day bond videos as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys very soon in the next one.